Hello there! And welcome back to another video! This week I'm going to be doing a lot of housekeeping type things, sort of general updates, that kind of thing, but the thing that I was most wanting to update is some of the branding type illustrations that I have around my channel. And the reason why I wanted to do this now is because I just re-dyed my hair, and for the past I think 2 years I've been dyeing my red ends at home, and I got it the ends bleached with a friend, and then I just bought some semi-permanent pigment, and I've been dyeing it. But yeah, it's been sort of dull. It's not been like when I first dyed my hair professionally when I was 17. It's not been as nice and vibrant. But I decided that when I finished my school term, that I wanted to dye my hair big time, and now it's the brightest red it's ever been. I'll sandwich in a photo of the back of my head all coloured here on the screen now, but I'm 100,000% obsessed. I'm so happy with how this looks, and I've had red hair for what is it now, 4 or 5 years, not redhead, but my ends and stuff like that, I've had them red for 4 or 5 years, and now I've got a lot more than just the ends red, and it's a lot more vibrant, and I'm living for it. So I thought that also different thing, and you might have noticed when I was doing this quick edit, my hair's grown, because in 2016, I think it was 2016, in June of 2016, I chopped off all my hair. It used to go down to my bum, and then I chopped it all off. It was really, really short. You could see the back of my neck. It was really short, and then it's been 3 years since then. So now it's all re-dyed and long, so I thought it would be good to update. So the first thing I updated was the channel banner, and I drew that almost a year ago. I drew that in August of 2018, and so it's still fairly recent. Obviously I feel I could do a bit better, because you can always do better, but there wasn't too much wrong with it. So the only thing I really changed was the length of the hair, the colour of the hair, and then I just changed the font of my name, the Cantrone name at the nameplate, because that font doesn't really speak to me anymore, and I've been using this other font. It's called Railway, Railway spelled R-A-L-E-W-A-Y, not R-A-I-L. Anyway, I really like that font. I use it a lot for my school stuff when I do graphic design and ads and all that. So I decided to change my big name to that font, and yeah, besides I didn't really edit the channel banner at all. But then this other thing, there's a video on my channel from 2017, I'm fairly sure. I think it was in June 2017, that I was drawing this quote-unquote persona, and then ever since then I put her in the end card, so that it would just show a face to my voice regardless of what I'm drawing in the video. And that one I did feel needed a little bit more updating. Again, not that I'm unhappy with it, but originally when I was coming up with the idea of making this kind of rebranding thing into a video, I really just planned on making the hair longer and adding the red. And in this one, in the original one, I think this is the only time I didn't add red to the ends of my hair, because this was just before I re-dyed it again. So the red that I had back when it was long had finally just been completely cut off, but then I didn't add, I hadn't bleached it and dyed it, so it felt a little bit like lying to add the red back even when I didn't have it in real life. But it was 3 months after that I added the red again. So it's just kind of, until I decide I really don't like it anymore, I think whether it's freshly dyed or not, I think I'm just going to draw myself with the red ends, just because I feel that's me, and it's been me since I've been a teenager, so that's just the way things are going to be. But anyways, this illustration is almost 2 years old. It's going to be 2 years old in I think maybe a month or two. So I really felt this one did need the complete redraw. So yeah, that's just what I was working on, and I had quite a bit of trouble with the glasses, and I was referencing back to the old one, because I think the old one I did the glasses really different from how I would normally draw the glasses. They're really oversized and sort of thin for the kinds of frames that I have. I mean, they're not that thick in real life, but comparatively to my face and how you see real life proportions, they if I were to cartoonify it, I would cartoonify them fairly thick. But yeah, I felt like it was really interesting the way that I drew them in the old persona. But besides that, like, the pose at this point felt like it didn't feel, because I was rewatching the video in which I drew the persona, and there is a video about it if you're curious on my channel, and I was calling the kind of mood that the pose was having sort of breezy. Oh, there I kind of misjudged my left and right for drawing and stuff like that, so my bangs were on the wrong side. So I called the kind of emotion behind the pose of the old one kind of breezy, but the way that I look at, like, the way the legs are positioned and the fact that, like, the entire body is just facing one way, there's no kind of curve to it, flow to it, it feels like stiffer and more like kind of guarded and uncomfortable compared to the kind of quote unquote breezy mood that I wanted to convey. So I kind of just took what I pictured that I wanted to do at the time and just did it, because now I feel like I'm a little bit more confident with just, you know, sketching. And yeah, this was around the time where I was I think 3 or 4 months into doing figure drawing when I did the original, and now it's been like 2.5 years since I've really been like knuckling down on like figure drawing and stuff like that. And I did post a video a couple of weeks ago on like my tips on learning anatomy, and like all that, like the difference between the old persona drawing and this one is basically everything I covered in that video if you're curious about it. And then of course my hair is longer and redder, so that's going to be another factor. And another thing that I wanted to change from the old one to this one is my outfit. And I just felt like while the purple shirt with a C on it is kind of like iconic, I don't really own that kind of shirt. I don't really even wear purple shirts anymore, even though purple is still my favourite colour. So instead I decided to do the thing that I drew myself in the channel banner, so that well, not necessarily, because in the channel banner I'm wearing leggings and this is like mid-rise waisted jeans with the cuffs hemmed a little bit. I don't know how to describe it, I guess like that. So yeah, I decided to make it a little bit more consistent, like the trousers a bit different, but the v-neck white shirt. And I also, if you remember last year around June, July, I was posting a series called like my growing up series, and that's where I did an illustration for when I was 5 years old, for when I was 12 years old, for when I was 15 years old, 18 years old, and then 21 years old, and now I'm 22 obviously, but the 21-year-old me is sort of the closest out of all those. And that one was also wearing like a white v-neck, some leggings, and then I think I put a blazer on her as well. But yeah, I just decided that I would try to maintain the like white v-neck shirt thing for when I illustrate myself for this like branding type stuff, just because I feel like it's standard enough, but I do wear it and it like adds a lot of like brightness, because if it's all dark clothes and it can be a little bit like dreary, and like you can hide it if you're going to put in a composition. And the idea behind redrawing this persona is obviously I'm going to change my avatar on Instagram, on YouTube and stuff like that, but the other idea is also to change it in the end card, which is, well, as soon as I'm done drawing it, you're going to see me fiddle around with that. And again, with the end card, I also wanted to change the font of my name just to make it more consistent with the title banner, channel banner thing. I'm getting a little bit confused. And yeah, it's been a hot minute since I did this style of digital painting, because the last time I did a digital painting, I think it was the Animal Crossing thing, and that was very loose and sketchy, while this is again line art and stuff like that. And also I almost never use 100% round brush with like 100% opacity. Like usually when I do use this kind of brush for line art, I have it so the opacity changes with the pen pressure, so it has a bit of a softer look. But I didn't have that with the original one, and I wanted to at least maintain that kind of thing. So yeah, this line art was kind of, it was more of a struggle than I've been used to having with line art recently, and I don't know, it was really, really interesting. Oh, another difference between the old persona and the new one is I've got the tattoo around my ankle. I've got a couple of tattoos since that other one, but the ankle one is usually fairly visible. But I knew when I did the old one that I was going to get this tattoo eventually, but I didn't feel like it would have been truthful to draw it just yet. So instead what I did was I gave myself like a little ankle bracelet, so it would like try to kind of insinuate that that was coming soon. So when I pan out and show the old one, like take a look at the ankle bracelet, just and know that it was a placeholder, because I knew the tattoo was coming. Now the tattoo is here. which is really cool. I did struggle with the eyes a little bit because I was trying to do something different, but then it's just like they looked too dark and dreary, but then the effects that I was putting on top of them didn't brighten them the way that I wanted to brighten them, so it's just like whatever. And here we are adding the red. I'm halfway tempted, and I might do this edit later on, I'm not quite sure, but the way that I did the old one was with like almost cell shading, and it was just with that half round brush, but like I feel like this whole thing would look a lot nicer if I just used the chalk brush and I used the same kind of colouring painting style that I did for the channel banner instead of the way that I did the old persona, just because like it's like similar enough, but I feel like it's got a bit more personality to it. And also like on the channel banner I have the whole background thing that's used with the chalk brush, and then in my end screen I also changed up the gradient. Like it's still got the colours, but instead of just being a flat plain gradient, I use actually the file of the splotchy stuff that's in the intro card. So I thought that would be a really nice like cool second. I'm getting ahead of myself because that's all in the like whatchamacallit, the end screen part, which is not, it's like 2 minutes away from now I would guess, but that's going to go kind of fast, so I thought it would be nice to just talk about it now. So I use the file that I made for the new intro thing, and I just placed that into the template for the end screen, which I'm quite stoked about because that's kind of bringing it full circle. Like for the intro you see it coming into existence, and in the end screen you see it there, but with me on top of it and like my social media and stuff like that, so I think it's kind of cool. And yeah, no, I'm really happy with my hair being re-dyed, and I also got a cut. So this is the first time I've actually gotten like a proper professional cut and like colour in a long time, because typically I just like let it do its thing. But yeah, so it's got layers in it, which is why now I've got like those flyaways below my shoulder level. Typically I wouldn't draw those in because if my hair doesn't do that, then I don't like drawing it. And before my hair had a little bit of like layers towards the end, but in the middle it was kind of like just the hair, but now it's got some layers there too, so I can do some little flyaways, and it's got a lot of movement and all that. So yeah, I'm just really happy with just having this new branding update, because it's like times are changing. It's been quite a while since and it's changed a bit. I don't know, just yeah. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Yeah, I wanted to replicate what I had in the old one, which is a little white border, and then behind that is the sunset gradient, but I think I might change the sunset gradient as well, because in the other instances where I've used the sunset gradient, the middle top part doesn't really have a vivid red. Instead it has more of a peachy salmon colour, and I feel like the fact that the gradient has that vivid red, oh, here's the comparison, old one versus new one, see the little anklet. But anyway, the vivid red in the middle top part kind of conflicts with the red in the hair, but if it were the peachy salmon colour, I think it would just add a little bit more light to it. So these are all changes that might happen. You might notice I didn't feel like I needed to include them in the video because they're just like me speculating or whatever. And yeah, so that's the thing in the background is what's in the intro, and then the new persona, and then I'm changing the name to the new font. And it was a little bit challenging because in the banner I made it specifically so that the font could be white. I made it darker there, but here it's like I like the darker part of the gradient to be at the bottom. But anyway, it just added black outline, whatever. This is the new end screen. There's a new channel banner, there's a new icon. I hope you really liked it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you all next week.